I got to tell you the story about the day when the FBI came knocking at my door. Now, this was prior to me ever posting on TikTok or talking shit about Donald Trump. That had nothing to do with it. This happened to be during COVID. Now, during COVID, I was in a different business. I was a broker of sorts, not a financial broker. There are people all over the country that have truckloads of closeout, discontinued wholesale items that they want to sell by the truckload. They'd call me and tell me what they had, and then I'd find a buyer on the other end to buy this product or these truckloads that they in turn would sell retail. Pretty boring fucking business, and frankly, the people in that business were pretty sketchy. Anyway, this is during COVID. Now, during COVID, there was a requirement to wear masks. The only problem was there was a shortage of masks. Nobody could get them. It was so short that people were starting to try to sell them directly from China and then have them shipped back here. The problem is people didn't want to put up a bunch of money up front, send it to China, and then wait 2 weeks for it to come back. So it was very difficult to get a hold of these masks. Now, it just so happened I had a customer, a client in California, a Chinese group, very nice folks. I would sell a lot of products for them, a lot of different kinds of products. But it just so happened this group, the guy who owned the company, had a family in China that made those masks. So when he saw this was happening, he then had them send him to California millions and millions of masks every week. So now all of a sudden I got a corner on the market to a certain extent. He's my client. He's got these masks coming in. I'm the only one in the country that can sell masks that are on U.S. land. They can literally pull their truck up and load it up. There is no risk. So things went pretty well with that. We sold a lot of masks. I was using LinkedIn to contact my customers back then, and like I do now, I did some videos. And when I was doing the videos, I was talking about the scammers. There was all kinds of scammers out there during this COVID thing and with the mask and the hand sanitizers and everything. Everybody's trying to scam different things. And every day I got contacted by these scammers. So I had to weed out those scammers because I didn't want to deal with them. I didn't want to sell to somebody who was going to gouge somebody else. So you had to be very careful about that. And I would talk about it on LinkedIn and talk about all the scammers. So anyway, one day I'm home here in my condo. I'm taking a shower. My wife's still teaching school, but it's COVID, so she's doing it remotely by a computer in our kitchen. Day's going like any other day of the week. Then my wife comes in, white as a ghost, and says, "Mike, the FBI is here and they want to talk to you." I go, "Yeah, right. They want to talk to me." She goes, "I'm serious. I'm teaching a class. You got to get out there and talk to them." I'm like, "Well, holy fuck." Now, I wasn't really scared because I'm very careful about not doing anything wrong or illegal. That's not my way, and I wasn't doing anything wrong. Still, the FBI is at your door. That's a little problematic. So anyway, I go out, and they're standing in my parking lot waiting for me. So I walk out, and I say, "Hey, what's up?" And they look at me, "You're Mike?" I said, "Yeah. Yeah, we want to talk to you for a little bit." "Well, that doesn't sound good." And I said, "Listen, there's a picnic bench around the corner right in front of the lake. Let's just go sit there." So we do that. We go to the picnic bench. We sit down. And I'm wondering, what the fuck are they going to do to me? What did I do? I didn't do anything. There was a male and a female FBI agent. And the male FBI agent says to me, first thing he says to me, "I've seen your videos on LinkedIn." I go, "Okay." He looks at me and he goes, "They're fucking hilarious." I go, "Okay, I'm good now. He's not here to bust me. He's here for some other reason, but I still don't understand what that fucking reason is." So we're talking back and forth. He says, "Here's the deal. You're not in trouble. We checked everything out about you before we even came to see you. We wanted to bust you if you're doing something wrong. But we checked with you. We checked with your partner. We checked on your source. Everything's cool. But here's the deal. You've been talking about talking to all these scammers. We want to nail those motherfuckers. What we want you to do is when you talk to these scammers, instead of hanging up, get some information and maybe pass it along." I said, "Oh, you want me to go undercover, huh? He said, well, not exactly. Just pass along information when you get it. I said, do I get a weapon? And he said, no, you don't get a weapon, but just pass along the stuff. I said, listen, could you do me a favor? When my wife comes out here, because she's definitely going to come out here, when she comes out here, would you tell her that I need to go under deep cover for about 2 weeks and that she can't bother me and she'll never hear from me? He says, no, we're not fucking doing that. I said, well, it was worth a try. So we're talking back and forth, and we're laughing and joking. Next thing I know, my wife comes around the corner, scared to death that her husband is talking to the FBI, and she sees us sitting at the picnic table laughing. And the first thing she thought is, that motherfucker, how did he turn this fucker around? So she comes over, we explain the situation, and everything's cool. And so they leave, and it's a happy moment. There were no problems. And I did pass along. Yeah, I'm a rat. When it comes to these scammers trying to hurt people, I'll fucking rat out them all day. And I pass some numbers and addresses along when I came across the scammers. It got to the point I had so many I sent to them. They said, listen, man, we got enough now. You're good. Just fucking stop, okay? So anyway, after that, they take off. I send them the information, never heard from them again. But I did have the FBI come to my fucking door. It is a little scary, but fortunately, this one turned out well.